Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. Mudar Pratap Singh. Our big focus continues to be on the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. Voting has kick-started in 26 constituencies, with large lines being witnessed in Srinagar, Riyasi, Rajouri and Naushera. These are live visuals now coming in of the Abdullah family who has arrived in Srinagar to cast their vote. These are the big developments coming in. The entire Abdullah family, Farooq Abdullah, National Conference President, Vice President Omar Abdullah and Omar Abdullah's two sons are there, arriving at this polling booth to cast their vote in the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. Remember, Omar Abdullah, of course, is in the fray this time on 2 seats. Mehndi Garg is sending us a live report. Let's go across.
किया जा रहा था क्योंकि यहाँ पर बोला जा रहा है कि एक बार फिर से उमर अब्दुल्ला लोकसभा चुनावों में हार के बाद यहाँ पर अब एक बार फिर से अपनी किस्मत आजमा रहे हैं। तो ये तस्वीरें हमने आपको दिखाई कि अभी अंदर पोलिंग बूथ पर दोनों ही उमर अब्दुल्ला और फारूक अब्दुल्ला अपने पूरे परिवार के साथ यहाँ पर पहुँच चुके हैं। उनके बेटे भी उनके साथ में मौजूद थे और बाकी आगे क्या कुछ आगे होगा, वोटर टर्नआउट किस तरीके से सेकेंड फेज का निकल कर आएगा, वो सभी देखने वाली बात होगी। कैमरा पर्सन अविनाश के साथ मैं मेहंदी गर्ग, इंडिया न्यूज़, श्रीनगर।
So you could see over there, of course, former Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah, former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah and Omar Abdullah's two young sons are there. So the entire Abdullah clan, of course, reaching to cast their vote in Srinagar. We'll get in Mehndi Garg in just a second to get us more details on that story. They are, of course, the high-profile morning voters. Meanwhile, we've also seen Jammu and Kashmir BJP President Ravinder Raina. He also is amongst the bigwigs who has already cast his vote. He's also in the fray this time from Naushera. Let me try and go across live to Mehndi Garg, who is live at the Barnhal polling booth in Srinagar. Mehndi, the Abdullah family arriving there. What more details can you share with us? Okay, I think we've lost that connection with Mehndi, unfortunately. Let me bring in Nasir Khan till then. Nasir Khan is joining us from central Shalteng in Jammu and Kashmir. Nasir, what's the scenario at the central Shalteng constituency? Are the long lines continuing? And let's try and speak to some voters on the main issues for them this time.
देखिए उधर सुबह से ही लंबी लंबी कतारें जो है इस शाल्टेन कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में हमें देखने को मिली। सुबह से लोग जो है बढ़ चढ़ कर अपने चुनाव का में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं, अपना वोट जो है मतदान कर रहे हैं। मैं इस वक्त जैनपुर में एक ऐसी पोलिंग स्टेशन पे मौजूद हूँ जिसकी हम अगर बात करेंगे तो यहाँ पे भी आप देखेंगे लंबी लंबी कतारें जो है वो लोगों की लगी हुई है। और उसके साथ साथ ये वो पोलिंग बूथ है जहाँ पे 2008 के बाद या 2014 की बात करें जो बाइकआउट की कॉल पे जो वेलकम करता था और यहाँ पे लोग जो है मिस रहते थे इस पोलिंग बूथ में। लेकिन आज अगर आप इसी पोलिंग बूथ की तस्वीरें देखेंगे, वो दिल को सुकून देने वाली तस्वीरें जो है वो आपको देखने को मिलेगी। लगातार जो है यंग युवाओं के साथ साथ महिलाएं जो है वो यहाँ पे पहुंची है, वो अपने वोट का मतदान जो है यहाँ पे कर रही है। और यहाँ पे आगे जाने की अनुमति जो इस पोलिंग बूथ पे नहीं दे रहे हैं। आगे जाने की अनुमति जो है वो पोलिंग बूथ के नजदीक जहाँ पे मतदान अपना वोट कास्ट करे वहां पे जाने की अनुमति नहीं दी जा रही। और उसके साथ साथ मैं आपको फिर से एक बार तस्वीरें दिखाऊंगा कि आप देख लीजिए कि कैसे यंग युवा जो है, महिलाएं जो है वो यहाँ पे पहुंची, बुजुर्ग जो है वो यहाँ पे पहुंचे, वो अपना वोट जो है कास्ट कर रहे हैं। कहीं ना कहीं इस शाल्टेन कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के हवाले से अगर बात करें तो दिग्गज नेता जो है उन्होंने अपना नॉमिनेशन नामांकन फॉर्म जो है यहाँ पे भरा है, वो अपनी किस्मत का फैसला, अपनी किस्मत को जो है वो आजमा रहे हैं। कहीं ना कहीं अगर देखा जाएगा तो इस शाल्टेन कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में सुबह से ही हमने लगातार जो है लंबी लंबी कतारें देखी। चाहे हम पंजीनारा की बात करें, चाहे हम शाल्टेन की बात करें, जैनापुर की बात करें या HMT की बात करें, कहीं से भी देखा जाएगा तो लंबी लंबी कतारें हमें देखने को मिली। और वही तस्वीरें जो है आज कश्मीर घाटी के कोने कोने से जो है हमें देखने को मिल रही है। अभी तक जो 9 बजे तक जो वोटिंग परसेंटेज है 6 कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में वो 10% से ज्यादा हो चुकी है। और इससे पहला जो फेज हुआ था वहां पे 60% से ज्यादा जो है पोलिंग परसेंटेज। तो लोग जो है इस बार बढ़ चढ़ कर हिस्सा ले रहे हैं उन पोलिंग बूथ्स पे जो कल तक बंद रहते थे, जो 2014 तक जो बाइकआउट की कॉल पे जो है अमल करते थे और माजी में जो पत्थरबाजी पोलिंग बूथ होती, आज बिल्कुल वैसी तस्वीर जो है कश्मीर घाटी में में नहीं देखने को मिलती। आज जो है डेमोक्रेसी की जीत हो चुकी है और आज तमाम तर लोग जो है वो अपने घरों से बाहर आ रहे हैं और अपना वोट जो है वो कास्ट कर रहे हैं। कहीं ना कहीं इससे जो है डेमोक्रेसी और लोगों के मुद्दे के हवाले से अगर बात करेंगे तो लोगों के यही मुद्दे हैं, बिजली, सड़क, पानी। वहीं अगर देखा जाएगा कई सियासी पार्टी 370 से लेकर हवाले से बाकी कैंपेन में जितने भी कैंपेन कश्मीर घाटी में हुए 370 के हवाले से बात हुई, उनसे लोगों से वोट मांगे गए। जब लोगों से ऐसे प्रश्न पूछे गए कि 370 लेके लोगों ने कहा कि हमें बस डेवलपमेंट चाहिए, हमें रोजगार चाहिए और हमें पीसफुल एटमॉस्फेयर होना चाहिए, जो कश्मीर घाटी में 2019 के बाद बन चुका है, वही पीसफुल एटमॉस्फेयर हो यहाँ पे होना चाहिए। उसी तरह से जो है यहाँ पे काम होना चाहिए, डेवलपमेंट होनी चाहिए, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ज़्यादा है, थोड़ा एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी बढ़नी चाहिए ताकि आने वाले समय में यंग युवा जो है इस कश्मीर के साथ साथ पूरे देश का नाम जो है वो रोशन करे। कहीं ना कहीं जम्मू कश्मीर की बदलती तस्वीर जो है हमें 2019 के बाद कोने कोने से सामने आई, वैसी ही तस्वीरें जो है आज भी कश्मीर के कोने कोने से नजर आ रही है। जब एक यंग युवा अपना पहली बार अपना वोट जो है वो कास्ट करने के लिए अपने नजदीकी पोलिंग बूथ पे पहुंच रही है और अपना वोट जो है वो कास्ट कर रहा है। जी उदय।
Absolutely. Let me bring in Mehndi Garg now for more details on this story. Mehndi, we are seeing the Abdullah family has just arrived at that polling booth you're standing in Srinagar. Give us more details. Have they cast their vote? And who all from the Abdullah family are present there?
Well, Uday, right now you can see the visuals that we are showing you. And they've casted their vote and they have come out and you can see the visuals that how they will now address the media and also say that how do they think and how do they see these elections. And all of the Abdullah family has came out from the polling booth. This is the visuals we are showing you of Farooq Abdullah along with Omar Abdullah, the former chief minister, and here they will address the press here and they will talk about the elections and how do they see the elections that are happening after a decade, after 10 years. So these are the visuals that we are tracking right now, and it is an important seat also there because we are in Srinagar right now, and Omar Abdullah is testing his fortune right now, and he is contesting from two districts, one from the Gandarbal and also from the Badgam district. And now any moment we can hear Omar Abdullah speaking and saying that how do he sees these elections. So these are the live visuals we are tracking. We can now hear Omar Abdullah speaking any moment now. See, you can see the visuals. He has casted his vote. Farooq Abdullah has also casted his vote. Also, Omar Abdullah's sons are also here. Yes, we can hear him speaking right now.
आपने वोट कास्ट किया।
मैडम अपना मोबाइल नीचे कर लीजिएगा।
आज दूसरे फेज की पोलिंग जो है सुबह से शुरू हुई है। फिलहाल जो रिपोर्ट्स हैं अच्छी तादाद में वोटर जो है अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। अब मुझसे बार बार पूछा जाता है कि हमारी क्या उम्मीदें हैं, हमारी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं। कोई भी पार्टी, कोई भी उम्मीदवार हारने के लिए इलेक्शन नहीं लड़ता। तो हमारे एक्सपेक्टेशंस यही हैं कि आज ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वोट जो हैं नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के उम्मीदवारों को पड़ेंगे। जहां नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के उम्मीदवार नहीं हैं वहां कांग्रेस के साथ हमारे अलायंस के तहत कांग्रेस के उम्मीदवार को जो है वोट मिलने चाहिए। और उम्मीद ये की जा रही है कि 8 अक्टूबर के बाद अक्सरियत हमारी होगी और नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस कांग्रेस की यहाँ पे अलायंस गवर्नमेंट जो है काम करेगी। यही हमारी उम्मीद है। ये डेलीगेशन के हवाले से समझ में नहीं आता। यही लोग जब जम्मू कश्मीर के बारे में कमेंट करते हैं तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से बयान आता है कि जम्मू कश्मीर जो है वो हमारा अंदरूनी मामला है, इस पे दूसरों की दखल नहीं होनी चाहिए। अगर दखल नहीं होनी चाहिए, अगर इनके कमेंट्स आपको नहीं चाहिए तो इनको यहाँ लाया क्यों जा रहा है? और वैसे भी यहाँ लोग वोट अपना इस्तेमाल या इलेक्शन में हिस्सा इसलिए नहीं ले रहे हैं कि वो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया से बहुत खुश हैं। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की तमाम कोशिशों के बावजूद लोग यहाँ इलेक्शन में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। नहीं तो यहाँ लोगों को तंग करने में, सताने में, परेशान करने में पिछले 6-7 साल से हुकूमत ने कोई कसर बाकी नहीं रखी है। इसके बावजूद लोग अगर इस इलेक्शन में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं तो ये लोगों की, मैं कहता हूँ इसका श्रेय लोगों को जाना चाहिए। लेकिन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया कोशिश कर रही है कि इसका सारा क्रेडिट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को मिले, जो कि यहाँ के लोगों के साथ धोखा है। और अगर बाहर के डिप्लोमेट्स को लाया जा सकता है तो मुझे ये बताएं ना, बाहर के जर्नलिस्ट को इजाज़त क्यों नहीं दी जा रही है? बाहर के किसी भी जर्नलिस्ट को जिन्होंने अप्लाई किया था इस इलेक्शन को कवर करने के लिए, उन्हें इजाज़त नहीं मिली। लेकिन एक गाइडेड टूर टूरिस्ट की तरह इन डिप्लोमेट्स को लाके यहाँ इलेक्शन दिखाए जा रहे हैं, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है।
सर थोड़ा ट्रेंड साउथ कश्मीर में काफी ज्यादा सुबह से ही वोटिंग देखने को मिली, लेकिन आपको क्यों लग रहा है कि ऐसा हो रहा है?
अब हमारी वोट डालने की आदत नहीं रही ना। अब हम श्रीनगर के लोगों को 35 साल अपना वोट इस्तेमाल करने की आदत नहीं रही। हमें थोड़ा सा सीखना पड़ेगा दोबारा, मतलब घर से निकल के पोलिंग बूथ में जाना। लेकिन मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि बाकी जो सराउंडिंग एरियाज़ हैं वहाँ के पोलिंग को देखने के बाद श्रीनगर के लोग भी निकलेंगे और अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल करेंगे, क्योंकि आखिरकार उनको भी अपने एमएलए पे जो है, अपने एमएलए से काम मांगने का हक है। और वो हक जो है वोट से शुरू होता है। उन्हें अपने एमएलए को चुनने में जो है अपनी आवाज़ बुलंद करनी चाहिए और फिर अपने एमएलए से जो है काम मांगने चाहिए। और कुछ
Umar sir, will National Conference be able to take the lion's share in the second phase because it's all National Conference election?
इंशाल्लाह।
थैंक यू।
So this was, there Omar Abdullah speaking, and he has shown, he has shown a faith that he will win the elections because he is contesting from 2 seats right now, and he will, along with his family, now leave from the polling station. And the visuals are very clear right now there because Farooq Abdullah is also there. His health is not very good right now, and he is accompanied by Omar Abdullah's sons. We can see in the visuals also that how whole of the family is walking all together, and they are showing a faith that they will win elections this time. He was also former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah. Before him, his father Farooq Abdullah was also the Chief Minister. He comes from a very big legacy of being the Chief Minister. So see, these are the visuals that we are tracking right now, the live visuals that we are showing our viewers on NewsX from Srinagar. And here Omar Abdullah is getting out from the polling booth station. Sir, एक अपील करना चाहेंगे वोट की?
नहीं, मैंने अपील कर ली है। मैं पिछले 20-25 दिन से अपील ही करता आ रहा हूँ। उम्मीद करता हूँ कि हमारी अपील लोग कबूल करेंगे और अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल करेंगे। और ज़्यादातर वोट जो हैं वो नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस, और जहाँ नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का उम्मीदवार नहीं है वहाँ कांग्रेस के उम्मीदवार को वोट डालें।
सर 10 साल बाद चुनाव हो रहे हैं, कैसे देख रहे हैं?
अब अच्छी बात है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश के मुताबिक अब चुनाव हो रहे हैं और 8 अक्टूबर के बाद यहाँ लोगों की अपनी हुकूमत होगी।
सर मुद्दों को लेकर क्या बात करेंगे? मुद्दे
जनाब वो तो कैंपेन के दौरान आपको पता ही चल जाता है।
Mehndi, you can try and speak to his sons as well. They're right next door to you. Let's try and speak to his sons.
Yes, so they will try to talk to them. We'll try to talk with them also, because right now they are accompanying Farooq Abdullah, as he is not in very good health right now, so he has been accompanied by them. We'll try to talk them also, because right now we heard that how Omar Abdullah exclusively spoke with NewsX and shared his, Farooq Abdullah we are tracking here right now. If we can get one reaction of his. So he is leaving right now from the polling booth station, and Farooq Abdullah is also sitting here, and Omar Abdullah is driving, whole of the family is coming out from the polling booth, and they are in the one car. We can see that how, Omar Abdullah is driving the car and Farooq Abdullah is sitting beside him. So yes, these are the live visuals that we are tracking from Srinagar right now, and we talked exclusively with Omar Abdullah, and he has shown his faith that National Conference will win these elections, and Omar Abdullah will also win from both of the seats he is contesting from. Yes, Ade.
Absolutely, big exclusive interview there, Mehndi, that you just did with Omar Abdullah. Omar Abdullah speaking with NewsX, the former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister, speaking with NewsX exclusively on polling day after casting his vote. The only news channel that Omar Abdullah spoke to was, of course, NewsX. So big exclusive there, Omar Abdullah. What was his message on voting day, Mehndi? that he told you? What are the main appeal that he has put out, and also which way does he believe the election is going? What did he say?
Well, yes, so it was only on NewsX. He's spoken exclusively with NewsX, and when we talked to him about the appeal that he wants to do from the people of Jammu and Kashmir, then he said that he has earlier also made a huge appeal from the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and people are coming out of their homes and voting in a very big number. And he also said, when we talked about that, how does he see these elections, because these are being happening after 10 years, after a decade. So he was very happy because he said that after the Supreme Court's order, the elections are being happening in Jammu and Kashmir, and it's a very big win for Jammu and Kashmir as a union territory also. And if we talk about the issues, we also asked him the questions that what are the big issues right now in Srinagar, in Jammu and Kashmir. On that, he said that all the issues were discussed by him in his campaign trails, in his campaigns, and all of the things that he was doing in in his rallies, in the Jan Sabhas. So main issues were highlighted in those. So yes, these are the big developments that we are tracking right now, and exclusively we talked to the former Chief Minister Amar Abdullah, who was accompanied by Farooq Abdullah. And one of the beautiful visuals that we also show you that how Amar Abdullah was himself driving the car along with Farooq Abdullah, his father, sitting beside him. So yes, these are the big developments right now. Yes, Adil.
Omar Abdullah, of course, is in the fray from 2 seats today, Mehndi. From, of course, the Budgam seat and, of course, also Gandarbal. So 2 seats Omar Abdullah contesting from. He is in the fray today. The voters in those constituencies are going to decide whether he is re-elected or not.
Well, yes, so Omar Abdullah is contesting from Gandarbal and Budgam seats, and both these seats are being considered as the hotspots right now in the Srinagar district, because it has been said by the reports and also from the people that we talked about talked with, that this is a deciding factor. These elections can be the deciding factor for the Abdullah family, because earlier in the Lok Sabha elections we all saw that how Omar Abdullah was contesting elections and he lost in front of Engineer Rashid, but now he is testing his faith once again. And if we talk about the Gandarbal seat, then the Gandarbal seat is said to be the legacy seat of Abdullah family, because earlier, if we talk about the history, then Farooq Abdullah was also won from the seat Gandarbal, and also Farooq Abdullah's father has also won from this seat, Gandarbal seat, and now Amar Abdullah is also testing his faith from fighting from this Gandarbal seat. So this is a legacy seat of the Abdullah's family right now, and people are saying that after losing Lok Sabha elections, this is a very important election for the Abdullah family, for Omar Abdullah. And we also heard Omar Abdullah in one of the rallies. He was saying that he was completely surrendering in front of the Jammu Kashmirians and also the people of Srinagar and Jammu and Kashmir, saying that these elections are in their hands right now. And exclusively when we talk to him right now, he also showed that how.
Yes, Mehndi, go ahead.
He also showed that, how he showed it. Yes.
Okay. Mehndi, also, Omar Abdullah has made a big charge today. He is saying, why is the government bringing in foreign diplomats? He is saying, isn't this visit interference? He had leveled that charge earlier on social media. He said it again today.
Yes, while addressing today also, he mentioned this specifically about the former diplomats coming to Srinagar. And today, former diplomats are coming, and they will not visit the Srinagar district as a whole, but they will specifically visit the Gandarbal and the Budgam seats. So on that, Omar Abdullah has said once again that how is it fair for former diplomats to come to Srinagar and have a visit. But he also mentioned that it is not allowed to the foreigner, also to the foreign journalists to come here and to and have a survey according to that. So yes, these things about the former diplomats have been said by Omar Abdullah earlier in the days also, and today after casting his vote, he again mentioned this issue that it is very clear Uday, that he is not very happy with the former diplomats coming to Srinagar and going to those seats specifically from where Omar Abdullah is contesting.
Okay.
Yes, Uday.
Let me get in Dharinder Tayal, spokesperson of the BJP as well in at this point. Dharinder Tayal, Omar Abdullah there making a big charge. He is saying, why is the central government bringing in diplomats during the polls? Doesn't this amount to interference? He's raised this issue on voting day today. Also, Dharinder Tayal, Omar Abdullah there expressing confidence that the NC Congress is forming government.
Abdullah says interference from outside. Let's understand we have to project Jammu and Kashmir as a safe destination. Tourism is the main hallmark of Kashmir, and that is what we are projecting to the world, how the situation has changed in Jammu Kashmir after the abrogation of 370, and it is a safe place today. People can come here and they can see the celebration of democracy. But what is very interesting is when Omar Abdullah talks about interference from outside, because the Anti-National Conference and the Indian Anti-National Congress, both of them, they get their support from where? They get their support from Khwaja Asif, the Pakistan Defense Minister. And let me read that statement to you, which is absolutely abhorrent, you know, where he says, Asif's statement, where he made it clear that Pakistan, the alliance have made it an election issue. Pakistan and the NC Congress alliance are on the same page in Jammu and Kashmir. So Pakistan and NC and INC, they are on the same page. That is the kind of interference they are getting in. And when you talk about it, I do not know what is the problem with the Congress, that their entire support always comes from elements that are inimical to the country. For example, here, it is directly from the Pakistan Defense Minister. At the same time, we are all aware of when Mr. Rahul Gandhi went abroad.
What I see that people are just excited to vote, and they're bringing children so that they can start learning how the democratic process is. This will be the very good voters later, because they are learning the process when they're still little kids. So this is so fascinating to me. I have never seen this kind of practice before. This is my first time, so it is satisfying.
Yeah, this is the pink booth, and there especially it is for women. Do you know it?
Oh, is it? No, but it's you know the movement of he for she. So I'm supporting women, so I'm okay with it. Yes. Thank you.
Let me get in Sajjad Shaheen of the National Conference. Sajjad Shaheen, you heard what Dharinder Tayal they had to say of the BJP is, of course, saying that this visit is being done to showcase Jammu and Kashmir to the world. There's nothing wrong in it. It is showing the safety and promoting tourism. Your response to that, because obviously your vice president of your party has made it into a big issue on electoral day. And also, Sajjad Shaheen, as far as, of course, the Abdullahs are concerned, you know, the BJP and their supporters earlier were making the point that he is nervous, which is why he's contesting on 2 seats.
Look, I must tell Dr. Tayal, the spokesperson for the BJP, that for God's sake, stop this rhetoric. This Pakistan rhetoric, we have had enough of it. Now you should come to the basics. You should come on the ground. This is actually something that they have been actually portraying for the last many years. They have nothing to say except either the dynasty rule in Jammu and Kashmir, and that too from the 3 families. And when it doesn't work for them, then they bring in Pakistan and all these things. So I should tell them to please get into the reality and accept the truth. And the truth is that BJP has actually failed in Kashmir so far as the 5 August 2019 that decision is concerned. They have been actually propagating that it was the 370 that was basic hindrance in the development and terrorism. And now look at the ground. Look at what is happening on the ground. The areas that were actually clean during our tenure and whatever was invested for the last many decades has actually been washed out. And look at what's happening in the region. In those regions, those were completely without militancy and without all these. Look at what's happening in Jammu, what's happening in Riyasi, what's happening in Kishtwar, what's happening in Rajouri, and all those areas that was cleared from militancy. So these gentlemen should actually stop this rhetoric and accept the truth. And the truth is that they haven't done good to Kashmir, the people of Kashmir, the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And our party vice president has very rightly said that bringing in foreign diplomats at this juncture is something that they have been actually portraying a all good picture in Kashmir. The fact remains, had that been the case, they should have also actually allowed the these journalists who actually wanted to come and cover this entire election process. So far as election is concerned, this election is this is a sigh of relief for the people of Jammu and Kashmir, as we are seeing these elections happening after a decade, and that too directly from the intervention of the Honorable Supreme Court. So BJP has actually tried not to actually hold elections in Jammu and Kashmir, and it was the 11th December decision verdict of the Supreme Court of India that we are seeing this democracy flourishing in Jammu and Kashmir, and we see the largest participation of the voters in the second phase of elections in Kashmir.
Yes, okay, let me take that across to Sujata Paul of the Congress Party as well. Sujata Paul, we are clearly seeing, of course, Omar Abdullah rake up the foreign diplomats' visit to Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, we are seeing some of those diplomats on our screen currently. Do you also believe that this is suspicious? What do you make of the BJP's response right now, saying that why is an issue being made of it? The country is being showcased, the union territory is being showcased. What's wrong with that? It's to promote tourism. Sujata Paul.
This is not the time to showcase tourism or promote tourism. The fact is that elections are going on, and the second phase of elections are being projected to the world only where the BJP wants to take them. Of course, if these people were free to move the way they wanted to, go into areas the way they wanted to, the BJP would never have agreed to that. The fact is that when more than 250 million people are casting their votes today, we are just hoping that maximum number of people will come out. And the government should be focusing on that. The government should be focusing on other issues. The elections are being held, like my previous speaker just spoke, that it is because of the Honorable Supreme Court that elections are finally taking place. Because since 2019, we've only seen lockdowns and close downs of everything in Jammu and Kashmir. And of course, we do need to find out from the BJP if the BJP spokespersons, BJP leaders, they bought land over there, they've got married to women over there. Because, you know, this kind of rhetoric is so painful, it hurts you. It hurts your conscience that this is how we talk about Jammu and Kashmir. I just heard about Pakistan and again, Pannu, who they want to promote, because these are people who don't need promotion over here. Have you forgotten that Imran Khan had once said that if BJP wins elections, it would be good for Pakistan. And ever since, that time, we only saw militancy just increasing in Jammu and Kashmir. So the truth about the matter is that it is the BJP who wants to build a rhetoric and narrative on issues which really do not concern us at all. And a country as small as Pakistan is always being projected by the BJP spokespersons whenever it comes to Jammu and Kashmir. It is really appalling, and they really need to get out of this mindset, because people are just fed up of this narrative. They are fed up of this rhetoric. And today, of course, like Omar Abdullah's statement that you just showed, it is the people of Jammu and Kashmir who need to come out to vote, and they are of prime importance, because this is a government that they will choose to govern themselves for the next 5 years. Yes.
Okay, let me take that across to our other guests as well. We have with us Raja Munib, senior journalist, also joining us live. Raja Munib, the visit of foreign diplomats now becoming into a election issue on voting day. Omar Abdullah crying foul. The Congress also pretty upset with this, as we just heard from Sujata Paul. The government, of course, justifying that, saying that it's to showcase J&K to the world. Also, the fact is that, free and fair elections are taking place. It's something to be proud of. Why should it be hidden from anyone, including these foreign diplomats? Rajamuni.
No, absolutely. I don't know what they're upset about. And, they're talking about foreign journalists not being allowed in Kashmir. Can they give me the name of 3 foreign journalists who have not been allowed or denied permission to visit Kashmir? Do they have names of 3 foreign journalists who wanted to come to Kashmir and they don't have? Because, and why I'm asking this question is because most of the foreign press, if it's BBC or it's DW, they have their local representatives there, and they usually are covering the Jammu and Kashmir elections. We have seen coverage of it in BBC as well, right? So when you talk about foreign press, you have to be very, very clear on what kind of foreign press you're talking about and what kind of journalists you're talking about and who has been denied permission. 1. Number 2, Kashmir has changed. There is no doubt. I don't know why they are so upset that, my previous panelist was speaking about lockdowns and shutdowns. Let me be very clear. From 1990 till 2018, Kashmir witnessed a shutdown of more than 2,100 days and lockdowns of 2,100 days as compared to 2019 to 2023. Yes, the lockdown was there for when the abrogation of Article 370 happened, but after that, the lockdown was majorly of the COVID period, which was a national lockdown. So you cannot add them to Jammu and Kashmir and say that the lockdown was in Jammu and Kashmir. It was a national lockdown. So things are changing in Kashmir. They are going to take time. It's not that everything is hunky-dory, everything is fine. We still have terrorism. We still have terrorism in Jammu. We are facing it. And let's face it, Pakistan has been perpetrating terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, and they will continue to do so. So whether it happens in Jammu or it happens in Kashmir, the fact of the matter is that it is a concern and it is being dealt with. But if we look at the statistics speak for themselves, right? We have no shutdowns in the valley. We have no stone peltings in the valley. We don't have any hartal calls in the valley. The separatist politics is completely over in the valley, right? You don't have Hurriyat conference dictating who to vote and what to vote for, and who should Kashmiris boycott elections. There is no boycott call for elections. So these are mass vulnerabilities. I think it will do a lot of good for the parties to say that, things are getting better, but they're not where they should be or what BJP claims that, the normalcy to be. But then to say that, nothing has happened and everything is lockdown and shutdown, I think that's a gross exaggeration of making out of a situation. It's just political bickering, nothing more than that.
Okay. Brigadier Rajan Jamwar, what do you make of this storm over the foreign diplomats' visit? Do you believe it's a storm in a teacup? Or do you believe there is reason to be upset over this on voting day?
When it is a storm in a teacup, actually, when Farooq Abdullah directly asked for China's intervention, that is asking for a foreign intervention. That was asking for a foreign intervention. So I don't understand what is this about. I mean, like Rajamuni said, which are the journalists? BBC is already covering, everybody's already covering. So this is unnecessarily making a whole lot of Second is about militancy. I keep hearing militancy has increased. Let us understand militancy. There are 2 kinds of militancy: the homegrown militancy and the foreign elements. The homegrown militancy has by and large been killed. It has by and large been killed, eliminated in both Jammu as well as Kashmir. What is left is no foreign interference. No foreign interference will keep shifting tactically between Jammu and Valley, depending on where they find our weak spots. So let us understand, there has been achievement on militancy and the local militancy has been totally killed. Lastly, we keep hearing about this so-called Kashmirian. I don't understand. There is nothing like a Jammu and Kashmirian. If there ever was a Kashmirian, it was limited to the valley, not even a whole Kashmir valley. The Uri, Handwara, Gurez, these parts were never part of the Kashmirian. It was just the valley. And in any case, this Kashmirian got killed in 1990. Why we are trying to wake up a dead person? Something which got killed in 1990, it is finished. There is no Kashmirian left. So this very mention of Kashmirian, it as if it applies to whole of Jammu and Kashmir. It's a total misleading. It is totally misleading.
Okay, let me quickly take that also to Lalit Ambardar activist. Lalit Ambardar, do you believe that this is a mountain out of a molehill, as Brigadier Jamwal was saying, this foreign diplomats' visit to be raked up as an election issue on voting day? Lalit, can you hear me? Okay, I think we are having some trouble there with this connection. Let's quickly go back across to our guests now. We've got opening comments from all of this. Let's dive into now the further discussion. Dharinder Tyal, quick response. Sujata Paul, of course, you heard out what she had to say. She's discounting your claim. She's saying if this visit had to be organized, why do it on voting day?
First of all, Sujata Paul would be hard pressed to tell us what is her stand on 370. They are hobnobbing with the NC. Are they for 370? Are they not for 370? Their manifesto on an important issue like 370 is absolutely silent, number one. Number two, when we heard a lot of talk about rhetoric, let us come to the ground level, was what Sajjad was saying. Now let's come to the ground level. The ground level is 61% voting in phase 1. That is ground level for you. Right? And when you're talking terror has increased, let me give you data, because when you don't talk with data, then you're only talking. Let me give you the data, and this is from the parliament. So it's not part data. There were 189 terror incidents in 2018. These came down to a 94 in 2023, as much as that, almost half, actually less than half. And in 2024, there are only 35. Right? When your own team is going, they are saying, "Haan, yahan patharbazi hoti thi, but today we are out. We are looking at development. People are looking for development." Now, who will provide the development? People who are saying the moment we come in, we will release the terrorists. They will provide the development. A terrorist who gets released, what will he do? Terror. That is what he knows how to do. He will not do the development. The Kashmir has seen development now. They have seen peace now. And they know who has brought it about. The INC and NC, they've got their backs to the wall. They have no clue. Now coming back, when Sujata Paul says, I don't know why they keep bringing up Pakistan. We keep bringing up Pakistan because you keep hobnobbing with Pakistan. That is why we keep bringing up Pakistan. What did INC do? INC said, we distance ourselves. Now we must remember the character of INC. When Sam Petroda made a statement, Congress said, we distance ourselves from Sam Petroda. We are removing him from the chairmanship of our international operations. The moment the elections were over, he was back there. That means there was no apology. This is the character. They wanted to take the country for a ride. So they are not distancing themselves from anything Pakistan says. INC is bedfellows with Pakistan. That is what it is doing. It is hobnobbing with Pakistan. It is hobnobbing with China. It is hobnobbing with Gurpatwan Pannu. Anybody and everybody who's inimical to India, INC is hobnobbing with them.
Sujata.
When they want to say, no, we are holier.
The fact is that when I hear the BJP spokespersons, I find it really appalling, because I'll just take them back to 9th June. When 9 Hindu pilgrims were killed and 30 were injured while they were making their way to a holy site. Why? And this is only the 9th of June that I'm talking about. Before that, the Kashmiri Pandits have been targeted and killed over there. Now, there are places in Jammu which had never seen this kind of militant attack. But, you know, I am appalled at the kind of statements made by the BJP spokesperson. Earlier, he mentioned anti-national conference, anti-India national, Indian National Congress. He should be ashamed of himself. He should apologize, because these are parties. Please keep quiet. I did not speak in between. These are parties which are participating in the election process, and they have been doing so for years now. And the election commission has been put on a question mark by Dharinder Tyal, no less, because when he questions these parties and calls them anti-national, it clearly shows that they are trying to build a narrative against parties and against a party which is so old, and which is the one which brought independence to this nation. He should apologize for that. The entire BJP should make note of the kind of statements made by Dharinder Tyal. I want to ask him, why is it that Jamaat-e-Islami, that was banned earlier, has been allowed to participate in elections this time? Of course, there are no answers to this. And the only thing that they can talk about is Pakistan, because they have nothing else to talk about. The fact is that when you talk about the smart machines which were installed, smart meters which were installed in Jammu and Kashmir during the pandemic, no less, were brought from China by the BJP government. So they need to answer about their relationship with China. There is another thing that I heard that homegrown militancy is over, but yeah, Pakistan is a problem. But the Prime Minister, may I remind you, had said that when demonetization would happen, cross-border terrorism would come to a complete halt. Please say categorically that he was speaking and spreading falsities while he made that statement. When you talk about Pakistan, how is it that Jammu is on target now? Is it because you have allowed them to come into Jammu where they were not there earlier? Because you say that you are Vishwa Gurus. So obviously, I expect you to be India Gurus also. But clearly, the government of India has failed, and that is the reason why since 2019, since the abrogation of 370, they have not been able to have elections. Now the last point. I just heard somebody talk about what is our stand on 370. Where does 370 come in the assembly elections? Because it is a parliament decision which you are talking about. But you want to mix up everything because you want to...
Okay, Dharinder, a quick response and I'll go back to the NC. Dharinder.
That is why you show your teeth and smirk like a fool.
Dharinder.
Language.
Who released Rubaiya? Who released a terrorist in exchange for Rubaiya Saeed? And who released terrorists like Omar Masood in exchange for our people when IC-814 was hijacked? Explain all this. Why did the NSA, present NSA...
Okay, please allow Dharinder to speak now. Siddhartha, you've made your point.
Terrorists. You are the ones who've been releasing terrorists. Don't talk about it.
Mr. Tyal.
Okay, one thing, are the panelists on your channel going to abuse each other?
No, please. No. One second. Please. Let's now refrain from this. We've all been allowed to make our points one by one. Let's not get personal with one another. The electorate of Jammu and Kashmir is voting. It's a historic election. Let's debate this with seriousness. Please, I'll come to you all one by one. Dharinder Tyal, the floor is yours.
If they don't have an answer, because it's a direct answer for somebody to say that because this is an assembly election, Article 370 is inconsequential, where does anybody stand? I mean, that is as weak an example of trying to slime away as is possible, because you don't have a stand. And
you tell us what is your stand on assembly elections? What are the promises you have made? How many promises have you delivered upon? How many promises have you delivered upon to the people of Jammu and Kashmir? That is what you need to answer.
You're going to keep interfering. And when they talk
about Jamaat-e-Islam allowed to participate in the elections when you had banned them? Why did you release Engineer Rashid?
Don't say. Uday, every time.
The panelist has already said that everything is not hunky-dory in Jammu and Kashmir.
Can she be silent?
That itself speaks a lot.
She has no clue what she's talking about. And then these people would want to go around. Every time they try to demoralize the armed forces. Last time she was taking on a major general. Every time they said...
The armed forces existed before the BJP was born.
In Pulwama,
Johnson died.
These are the people...
BJP was not even born. And the army existed.
Okay, Sardar Shaheen is coming in as well. Sardar Shaheen of the NC, come in here. Why rake this up now? This is a non-issue, says a neutral panelist on our discussion. Rather talk about the issues that matter to the people of the Union Territory.
I actually want to remind Dr. Tyal and the other honorable this panelist about the Kashmiriyat. He has actually invoked that it has completely died. I actually want to suggest him to have a lesson or two on Kashmiriyat, what Kashmiriyat is all about. So coming back to Dr. Tyal, Look, the issue here is not demonizing armed forces or whatever he has said. It's China has always been there. China has actually it is directly involved here in Ladakh. It's in Doklam. So raising that issue about the China and the Pakistan is something that we need to stop now, and we must realize the truth that they have nothing to say about that. They're actually telling about the release of terrorists. Nobody is going to release terrorists. It is your party, which has always been in secret actually conspiracies about the Kashmir and disempowering politically the Kashmiris, disempowering them economically, disempowering them politically. And look at the case of Madam Sujata actually raised a very valid point. How is Engineer Rashid into fray? And look at the timing.
BJP
He is out on a parole of 20 days. And look at the time.
Dharinder Tyal, let's allow him, please. Let's allow him, please. You made a chart now. Let's allow him to speak.
Actually being
Dharinder
used as a
Tyal.
trump card, and they are the people who have released
Dharinder Tyal.
Masood Azhar. They are the one. They are now raising fingers at us. Look at their conduct and the role
Dharinder Tyal.
they have played in the past, and now they are doing same again here in Kashmir. So there are things that we need to understand. That
Do we have Dharinder Tyal with us?
The revocation of
Can we allow the BJP now to speak, please, Mr. Shine? We have to hear the others out as well.
Yes.
No, so the question is being raised. I mean, earlier it was said elections are being held because the judiciary said so, and Rashid.
That is true.
So then I don't know why.
How do you deny that?
No, please, let's not do this now. It's very unfair. I think Dharinder Tyal is having an audio issue. He's not able to speak. Sujata Paul's voice was first drowning him out. Now Mr. Shine's voice is drowning him out. Let's do this one at a time. It's not fair otherwise for the others. Mr. Dharinder Tyal, 60 seconds exactly to you now. Please go ahead. And I'll have to mute the others otherwise. I don't like to mute any of my guests on my shows, but I'll have to do that. Dharinder Tyal, 60 seconds.
Yeah, so earlier we were saying that the elections are being held not because of the BJP, elections are happening because of the Supreme Court. But Rashid has been released by the BJP. Mr. Narendra Modi went and unlocked the cell and released Rashid. On whatever, take a stand, have some stand. Either Mr. Modi is doing it, BJP is doing it, or the courts are doing it. You can't be convenient. And you are the one, it's in your manifesto where you have said that yes, if we form the government, we will release the terrorists. So why are you shying away from accepting it today? I don't understand. The other thing which Sujata had said, that the BJP has a lot to answer for China. I mean, they are the ones who will go and sign secret MOUs with China. They are the ones who will go to the Chinese embassy, which will get released. And then they say,
where is he going? I'm talking about what they are doing recently. You have no answers to that.
Can you keep quiet? I asked you a question.
I will not. You have to answer whether the smart meters were brought from China and what were those smart meters used for? You have to answer. And you haven't answered about the 33 militant attacks which have taken place in Jammu since 2021. Please answer. Please answer about the militant attacks in Rajouri, in Doda, in Kathua, in Udhampur, in Riyasi, and many other areas of Jammu.
Okay, Brigadier Jamal, come in here. Brigadier Jamal, come in here. Do you believe that 370 is going to emerge as one of the biggest issues this time around in the J&K assembly? From the rhetoric, are you able to gauge that? Or do you believe security will be a big issue, or will it be livelihood, employment? What's your analysis so far, Brigadier Jambwal, of what perhaps the biggest issue could be this time?
370 is not an issue for the masses.
Okay.
It is an issue for the political parties.
Not
Let
at
me
all.
begin with that. It is not an issue for the masses. I've been a very regular visitor to Kashmir. In fact, every 2 months I spend about 1/4 of my time in Kashmir. So, like Siddharth was saying, I do not know about Kashmir yet. I have seen it physically dying in 1991 when I was there for a very extended long time as part of my special force unit, which I was there. I have seen it physically dying. I have seen it physically.
Don't
Anyway,
see
we can have
Kashmir
that.
through the prism of
1990. Okay.
security forces, or through the prism
No, I have
of your
I have seen it from all prisms.
Duty, whatever you do.
I have seen it from all prisms.
Kashmiriyat is a ray of hope. Kashmiriyat will show you the way it has been showing in the past.
I'll give you an example. I will give you an example.
Seen through 5 decades, 6 decades back.
Just hear me out. In 1991, I called up a friend. He says, why don't you drop in for a minute? He says, bhai, somebody sees me entering you, I will get had. I said, okay, I'll come over to your house. I've been coming so often. I said, no. Don't come to my house. If you come to my house, my whole family will be killed. We will meet in Delhi. We will have even a drink in Delhi. But please don't even call me up. There used to be no mobile. We used to talk on landline. So this small instance I have seen, and trust me, I have seen it dying, and it cannot be revived again. Till that time, you get back.
But you should not relate this to Kashmiriyat. Kashmiriyat is something else. That is why I'm telling you to.
What do you
about Kashmiriyat.
Okay,
what Kashmiriyat is actually all about.
Okay,
anyway,
Raja Munib, come in here. Raja Munib, come in here.
Yeah.
Do you also believe that 370 is not an issue for the masses, or do you disagree? Also, Raja Munib, do you believe from your analysis so far, because we are halfway, we're closing on the halfway mark now, that J&K is headed for a split verdict, or is there going to be a decisive mandate one way or the other?
Article 370 is not that big an issue what these two political parties are making it out to be. For people in Jammu and Kashmir, for voting is going to be largely on unemployment is a very big issue in Kashmir right now. Right, and that is one thing which the voters will have in mind when they're going to vote. Second thing is, I don't see any political party getting a clear decisive mandate in Kashmir. I see a split kind of verdict which is going to come from the valley and from Kashmir. So, no one party is going to be dominant in a sense where they can form the government on their own, or even a coalition can reach numbers of 46, 47. It's going to be a split one, but let's see and, wait for the results, because the electorate is supreme and what they decide is the final decision. But what I can make out is that it's going to be a split decision. It's not going to be overwhelmingly one-side decision.
Right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this discussion. My colleague has in fact now spoken with the NC's Ehsan Pardesi, is contesting from the Lal Chowk seat. Let's quickly play out that interview.
हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए मौजूद है एहसान परदेसी जी, जो नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस पार्टी से लाल चौक से चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। उनसे बातचीत करेंगे और जानेंगे कि किस तरीके के मुद्दे लाल चौक की सीट पर यहाँ पर देखे जा रहे हैं। सर, 10 साल बाद चुनाव हो रहे हैं जम्मू और कश्मीर में, किस तरीके से देख रहे हैं, कितनी ज़रूरत थी, क्योंकि लोकतंत्र का पर्व माना जाता है इलेक्शंस को?
ज़रूरत तो बहुत ज़्यादा थी। एक ह्यूज वाइड था, एक सरकार और एक लोगों के बीच में। ये वाइड जो है, ये सिर्फ एक पब्लिक रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ही फिल कर सकता है। ये ब्यूरोक्रेट या लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर हो या गवर्नर हो, ये उनके बस की बात नहीं है, क्योंकि वो लोगों से जुड़े नहीं होते हैं। लोगों से पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज जुड़ी होती है, लोगों से कैंडिडेट्स जुड़े होते हैं, जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव होते हैं वो जुड़े होते हैं। उनको पता होता है कि लोगों के जो बेसिक इश्यूज जो हैं वो क्या हैं।
बेसिक इश्यूज की आपने बात की, तो लाल चौक सीट से आप चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, तो लाल चौक के क्या मेजर इश्यूज हैं, मुद्दे हैं, और श्रीनगर के खास तौर पर क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे?
ये लाल चौक कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी इज अ वेरी स्कैटर्ड कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी। यहाँ पोस्ट डिलिमिटेशन, यहाँ इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी को जो बनाया गया है, इसमें 4 कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी का मिक्स किया गया है। सो डिफरेंट लेवल्स पे डिफरेंट इश्यूज हैं, डिफरेंट जगहों पे डिफरेंट इश्यूज हैं। रेलेवेंस इश्यूज की जो है वो कहीं पे है, कहीं पे नहीं है। लेकिन मैंने पोस्ट डिलिमिटेशन 3 साल एक्सटेंसिव ट्रैवल किया है इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में। सो आई एम वेल वर्स्ड कि यहाँ पे कहाँ पे क्या इश्यूज हैं, और इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह ताला ने अगर कामयाबी दी तो आई एम प्रीटी श्योर कि दैट आई विल बी एबल टू फुलफिल देयर इश्यूज।
सर, हम लोगों से लगातार बात कर रहे हैं, तो एक बेरोजगारी का मुद्दा खास तौर पर निकल कर सामने आ रहा है। आप कितना समझते हैं कि बेरोजगारी यहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा है और ये मुद्दा जेन्युइन है?
बेरोज़गारी यहाँ पे हद से ज़्यादा बढ़ चुकी है। जो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट यहाँ पे थी, वैली में थी, J&K में थी, वो हिंदुस्तान में ऑलमोस्ट सबसे कम थी, और आज की डेट में मुझे लगता है कि वो उसके सारे रिकॉर्ड जो है वो सरपास किए हैं। कोई यहाँ पे जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट, गवर्नमेंट एक सबसे बड़ा एक एम्प्लॉयमेंट सेक्टर हुआ करता था, जो अब नहीं रहा। हम यही चाहते हैं कि यहाँ पे जब इंशाल्लाह हमारी सरकार जो होगी, हम उस चीज़ को रिवाइव करेंगे, और जितनी वैकेंसीज यहाँ पे हैं, जैसे हमने अपने मंशूर में भी कहा है, 1 लाख सरकारी नौकरी जो हम है वो हम लोगों को देंगे इंशाल्लाह।
सर आखिरी सवाल, गठबंधन क्या है आपकी पार्टी ने, कांग्रेस पार्टी और नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस का गठबंधन है, किस तरीके से देख रहे हैं इस गठबंधन को, कि इसकी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी, कि आपके फेवर में ये गठबंधन जाएगा?
गठबंधन की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी, क्योंकि हम एक ऐसे फोर्स से पॉलिटिकली लड़ रहे हैं जो जिनकी बात, जिनकी हरकत जम्मू कश्मीर के हित में नहीं होती है। इसलिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी था कि एक नेशनल पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के साथ हमें अलायंस करने की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी, जो क्योंकि हमें यहाँ पे भी सपोर्ट चाहिए और नेशनल लेवल पे भी हमें सपोर्ट चाहिए। सो अलायंस वाज रिक्वायर्ड।
वोटर टर्नआउट कितना लग रहा है, सेकंड फेज में कितना निकलकर सामने आ सकता है, क्योंकि पहले वोटर टर्नआउट ने पहले चरण के सबको शॉक कर दिया था?
मुझे लगता है कि उससे बेटर ही होना चाहिए, उससे बेटर ही होगा। आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग एटलीस्ट इन लास्ट वोटर टर्नआउट शुड टच अराउंड 40%।
थैंक यू सर बातचीत करने के लिए। तो ये थे हमारे साथ लाल चौक सीट से उम्मीदवार एहसान परदेसी, जो नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस पार्टी से चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। तो उन्होंने बहुत से मुद्दों पर हमारे साथ चर्चा की, खासतौर पर कि क्या मुद्दे बेरोजगारी को लेकर यहाँ पर जो जनता कह रही है वो कितने यहाँ पर ज़रूरी है उनको सुलझाना। कैमरा पर्सन अविनाश के साथ मैं मेहंदी गर्ग, इंडिया न्यूज़, श्रीनगर।
So the NC's Lal Chowk candidate speaking there exclusively to NewsX. We'll keep getting you the biggest newsmakers right here. We've already spoken since the morning with Omar Abdullah exclusively, also with Ravinder Raina. So the NC, the BJP, all sides speaking exclusively to NewsX. We'll get you more ground reports as well on the other side of this very short break.